Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. Really excited for today's video. So I apologize to Andrew. I did a Thursday's Thirsty Thoughts a while back before I redid everything, blah, 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 blah. I posted videos about that, in between time stuff. And I had said, and then I have a follow-up list that I'm going to get to. And this is that follow-up list. So that list is Thursday's Thirsty Thoughts. Top 10, I forget how exactly I labeled it, maybe like relatively easy to get beers for me. So this one is harder to get beers. Maybe I didn't add the to me part. So this does have a beer that's relatively easy for me to get. So I'm trying to kind of put it like, it's harder to get because of like they only release it at the brewery, or it's like a once a year kind of a thing, or it costs a lot, or a factor of all that stuff. So although, let's see, one of these is very easy for me to get. One of these is kind of easy to get, maybe like once a month. So we'll just start at the top. I was recently reminded, I used to talk about this a lot in the channel back when I was when I had some and I was like reviewing it, and it would come up from time to time, but it's been a bit since I've had one, so it wasn't in my mind so much. But this was reminded to me, and it's so true because they do not distribute anywhere near me. New Glarus makes amazing fruited beers, and specifically my favorite, which is also my favorite kind of pie, is their strawberry rhubarb. I absolutely love that beer. And unless you live in Wisconsin, that's a very tough beer to get. So that is the first one that popped in my mind when I'm like, these are hard to get beers. This second one, there are some sitting behind me, but it is also very hard to get, and that's Westy 12, a beer I love. But yeah, let's be honest, that's a hard beer to acquire. Cost, location, like how to get it, yeah. Continuing with cost, and there are some behind me, probably, yeah, it'd be off camera though. Utopias. I mentioned this before on the channel. I had one, I won't repeat the whole story, but I had a sip after a beer festival up in Syracuse, New York, with some fellow craft beer nerds, and we ran into a place that was more of like a liquor kind of bar, and we saw at the top that they had a bottle of Utopias, and we were like, whoa, yeah, let's pay for 2 ounces so we can each try a decent amount. And there's 4 of us total. This was many years ago. I've kind of been chasing that dragon ever since because it blew my mind. It was so good. So I have procured a few bottles since then. One I won in a raffle, which I've told that story before. Here's what I was talking about, that like once a month I have access to this beer relatively easily, but I've never gotten to the beer store quick enough. It seems like the Alchemist is dropping Heady Topper. But I was talking to the one guy the other day because they posted on a Friday that they got it, and then Saturday morning I went grocery shopping. I'm like, oh, I'll stop at that beer store. It's like 10 o'clock. I think they open around 10, and they had already sold out from the drop Friday afternoon. And he's like, yeah, we'll get like, sometimes we'll get 3 cases, sometimes we'll get like, I forget if he said 10, but like more than 3, like a decent. He goes, but yeah, they do go quick. So if you see us post, they usually drop, they unexpectedly drop. Sometimes it's Heady and Focal, sometimes it's just Heady, and usually Tuesdays or Fridays, and yeah, it goes pretty quick. So next time I see it post, I'll just have to stop on the way home from work or something, I guess. You know, Focal, sometimes I think Focal's better than Heady. I just put Heady Topper on this list, but yeah, I go back and forth on that, which leads me to the second one. You might already maybe know, I'll give you a hint, West Coast version of what I just said. I don't know, is Blind Pig better than Pliny? I don't know, but I put Pliny on the list. Yeah, Pliny the Elder, it's amazing. But yeah, if you're not in California, especially Santa Rosa area, but my understanding is they do distribute a little bit that way. Sometimes they'll distribute or send kegs and stuff to Philadelphia. But yeah, it's not something I would ever see near me. So definitely harder to get beer for the average person unless you happen to live in one of those spots. Here's another one that's place-based, Revolution double-barreled VSOJ, fantastic beer. Luckily, Ross has hooked me up with that beer before. But yeah, if you're not in Chicagoland, I don't know how much further out it gets than that. Amazing beer, absolutely amazing beer. But yeah, pretty hard to get if you're not there. And then another one that actually randomly we've gotten 2 variants in bottles, and some bars got them, I think, both of them, yeah, in kegs. I haven't had it on draft yet. I've just gotten bottles. Medianoche, the Pappy one and the vanilla one randomly hit shelves by me, and it's expensive. But man, that beer, yo. And then Billy had sent me, they had collabed with Firestone Walker that, what do they call it, Perinoche? That one too was, I mean, just amazing. But yeah, Medianoche, if you like barrel-aged stouts, it's a cost, even if you can find the shelves like me. But let alone if you have to like trade or something for it. But that beer is, in my opinion, I'm not a big fan of telling people how to spend their money, is worth it. Number 8 is the one that is relatively easy for me to get, but if you don't live here, it's harder to get. Fiden's Teacher's Pet. It's a pale ale. It made my top 10 beer list. What was that, 2 years ago? It was the best pale ale I had that year. And it's awesome. It drinks bigger than a pale ale, you know, but it's got that lower pale ale ABV. That beer is just awesome. If they do have it and I happen to be there, I definitely grab some to just have as drinking beers. It's just such a good beer. And the last two, 9 and 10, are kind of, they're not jokes. That's not the right word. I'm saying them somewhat in jest, maybe is the right way of phrasing it. Treehouse is green. And yeah, there's a treehouse being built pretty close to me, but in parentheses, after I wrote Treehouse Green, I wrote good version. And it's not just them, it's just kind of a gateway to complain one more time that Galaxy hops haven't been kicking out as much pineapple lately, and I yearn for the pineapple bomb that was that beer. And last, certainly not least, this brewery makes some amazing beers, and I don't know why they don't put this in the rotation more. I don't remember the last time they brewed this beer. I remember the last time I saw that they brewed this beer. I remember the last time I was able to get this beer when they did brew it. They're really good. Once a year, they pop out with Waldo's. Once a year, they pop out with Willetized. Where's my Lagunitas Sucks? Where's my Lagunitas Sucks? You guys have I don't know one from the breweries watching this, but like you guys have another home run grand slam beer in your arsenal. Why don't you release at least once a year like those other ones I just mentioned? Like, throw us a bone. Do you guys remember when they had, I think, was it 32 ounce like bottle? Like it was like relatively skinny. It kind of got like fat. They only did it one time. Like, oh my God, I remember buying that one. Just, was it 6 packs of it? Or was it 4 packs? I don't remember. But like, man, if I saw Lagunitas Sucks, I bought it. No questions asked. It was just a no-brainer. That beer is amazing. If by some random chance someone watching this has an in at Lagunitas, brew Sucks. We all want you to brew Sucks. We're all confused why you haven't brewed Sucks. We're all confused why you don't somewhat regularly, at least once a year, seasonally brew Sucks. Give the people what they want. You will make money. All right, that's my top 10 hard to get beer list. Kind of going back to like those Mount Rushmore beer lists and stuff too. These are super fun to do. They're also super hard to do. Sometimes people comment, I'm like, that's a better one than I should have swapped that out. So definitely want to hear lists, whether it's 10 or not, but definitely what are at least some of your favorite, but harder to get beers. Comment below, get those conversations going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untappd. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.